The cold water flows softly. The passenger's heart sank in his heart. Flowers fall numb again, roaring waves. Remember, the old land whispered in the distance. The magician recites a road poem. Stare at the moon on the 14th. Blinking mouth regret a piece of golden past. He put a cup of millet tea in his mouth and took a sip. Sweet and salty tea makes you look good. Over there in the field, the children in the village lit oil lamps and hunted frogs. Somewhere there is the sound of Master Enjan's sutra, follow the wind. There was the sound of the moon dog. And the sound of children crying at night. So it's been 3 months. Ever since the famine hit this village. It's been 3 months. The quiet village can regain some of its vitality. If 3 months ago there was no catch, corpse seen, lying in the street, there's no way to see the bodies crumbling, chewing bark of wild vegetables, or try to find a way to literally survive. Now the landscape has changed. His family of arts, it saved many lives of misfortune. With a pot of porridge all day, red fire. When you get to Ra, your love is complete. Locusts rush to destroy crops. It's accompanied by a drought that causes the flowers to wear out. The villagers left the real sphere. The elderly and children were left behind in the village, waiting for the day to be buried. But in the village, there are many rich people who can't eat rice, afraid of having to cook wine. It was only his family that poured out all the rice. Save the hungry and the heavy rain will come. If it doesn't last another week, you really don't know how to do it. I must say that the vitality of this village is strong. It's like hay. After the rain continues to come alive. After just 3 months, the life of the villagers returned to its former form. That makes the magician feel safe. It's a bit too much to go back to the old ways. Because there is no shortage of hungry animals day and night. Potato, please, cassava. The golden past of the rich village. It's just the past now. It's for the main reason that he did magic tonight. To sit in my own heart. The poor are also somewhat safe. This month, this village has a dog. It's a dog accident, literally. The time before that, the famine hit this village for about 3 days. Then suddenly there was a plague. Any day in the village, there must be at least 1 or 2 deaths. Talk about that time. The rich at the time of their death. The coffin is buried. The grave is beautiful. At the same time, you can bring the whole thing. And the poor, I can only find a place to be buried. Fortunately, Ra had the fragile coffin, but it's mostly wrapped and buried. Story. That hungry month, the villagers can't even find food. What is it that keeps animals? The hungry dogs dropped their tongues and dragged each other into the forest. Self-destruct. When someone dies, they are buried. They told each other to dig the grave. The hunger raked at the sharp claws. Very quickly the new tomb was laid. Dig them up. There's a rickety coffin that they rammed to pieces. The lifeless body was dragged out. These wild dogs are basically hungry. They tore the body apart, so that the bones don't come to a piece. And then life goes into orbit. Locusts away from the epidemic. He was also sent back by the court. It is also treated. After the wild dogs eat, people are still used to that behavior. There is nothing missing in the village. The dogs are on the road. The dead man's body is torn apart, drinking blood and eating liver. The leader of the dogs is a black-haired dog. Body as big as a calf, a blind eye with jaws the size of Macau. That top dog is as big as a calf. 2 eyes stop in the dark, shaggy black fur, each rigid piece with a long card blade, and gives off an extreme smell. This dog is the leader of more than 30 dogs. Day after day, he leads his flock to dig up food. After the villagers stabilize the situation, the dog disturbing the grave is determined to eradicate. The leader of the villagers is a friend. A cunning and extremely cunning person. It's called Cho-Oi. This guy is only for weeks away. Finished in the position of the superior. In the village, out in the street, people are calling me. And of course the boss. I love that way of speaking. This old man is a very cunning and deceitful man. In times of famine, old speculator profiteering, a handful of rice for three times more expensive when it's quiet. Anyone who has money has a hot pot. Those who have no money are stuck in the dirt. And the same guy. A grain of rice is not to be. Because of that, the headmaster's property was rich. It's getting richer. The money of collecting sand until the stomach is full. But when the court returned to the village, he himself is a village school. Stand up to that responsibility. 10 parts less 7 and the 7 pieces that ran into the warehouse of his house. That's the keyer part. He still claps his chest. He called himself the grain of his house and brought it out to be saved. The community has a narrow vision. You see that trick? This is the end of God's grace. The Buddha lives in the village. It doesn't cost a dime. He has been given some more dignity. When life has entered the noble way, he pretended to stand up. The villagers went on a dog-eat-dog ride. Play the role of a great man dedicated to his people. Of course, that made it through his eyes. You don't want to accept it. Back to the real story. They are drinking moon tea. Old guy. I was startled when I heard the sound of a roar. The sound of people's feet rumbling down the road. The dogs roar. The voice of the profane. It's accompanied by 10 torches that glow in the dark. The pigs ran through the gate of their house. Grandpa hurriedly folded paper fan, untie the shirt and rush out. The gate has just been opened. The sound of screaming makes you a little nervous. He pulled the hand of a young man and asked him hastily, "What is that? What is that like fighting?" Guy Stud's queer face, red eyebrows, gay sweat mocking. "Realize you agree." He hastily clasped his hands. "Forgive and respond with respect. Finish rush." The dogs that ate his body came back to the village. We've been watching for days. Before that, they even dug up his grave. We jumped out and killed 30 of them. And the leader ran away. A few shots and it doesn't kill you. Looking for it. "Oops," he said. Let go of the caller's hand. People are still searching every corner, burning torches, lightning all night. The dog's remains have not been found. Hear the noise. All the people in the village are pulling out. He and his wife followed the family. In a large red brick house. A total of 30 dogs ate dead bodies with their mouths open. Put yourself out there. I was cut across my body and out my whole heart. I've been cut off from my head and body one at a time. You're still smashed. Raw skull, a bloody void. And shit with a sagging jaw. Smell of feces and urine, accompanied by a faint smell of blood. The principal stood at the podium with his hands out. Silence and then speak. I've been friends all week. I'm with the slaves and white boys in the village. They sleep night awake. It clings to the grave and lets the mosquito relax, and it rips the flesh out. It's dangerous. It's extremely exhausting. The village has received a sweet gift. It's these animals that have been eradicated. I now report to you that the dog stud has been removed. The lives of the villagers are warm. Please bear witness to the heart of my brand. The report then the villagers stood in a crowd of red applause. How many words Sierra cited the main virtue. Just like that, gradually up. The villagers followed his orders. 30 bodies. There was blood in the field next to the village, and set it on fire. Dragon fruit season haunts around the village. The cry of the people echoed through the sky. When they saw the blood, they soon came home. She just walked and sighed. Clearly suffering. He was hungry, so he took that risk. Even if SAO is finished, rest assured later, you don't have to worry about surgery anymore. He pauses under the torch up front. Take your wife's hand. The night wind suddenly swayed. Roll the bamboo leaves of the fence. The full moon was still bright. Now next time the cloud is dark, the sky's high blue now turns dark. Instead, it's flickering and thunder. It boomed like anger. Brunette babes nestled in after deep, while his eyes clenched together, because the dust fell eyes in. Come on, Grandma. It's going to rain. Fortunately, the gate is in front of you. They hurriedly removed the gate of heaven and rushed to the side, and quickly closed the two gates. The wind stopped outside. The torch seemed to be about to go out. Now it's lit up again. The boy is now urging, "Go to the back of the house and fence the chicken coop. It's raining hard tonight." The woman who holds the torch is going to leave the back of the house. She immediately turned to her husband as confirmation. See if I heard it wrong. Because in the sound of the dry leaves, the wind's blowing against the wings, the woman clearly heard a small growl. That roar came from the dark recesses of the earth, under the hedge of hibiscus. It's only a few feet from where you're standing. Listen to your ear and the sound disappears. I thought I was listening wrong. She looked at her husband and asked incredulously, "Uncle, did you hear anything? What's that sound like a dog moaning?" He was silent and nodded in confirmation. He stared at the dark hole under the fence. In the heart evokes a little bewilderment. Husband takes the torch in his wife's hand. He told me to go out to check. Wife is good at putting torches into the hole of land. I was startled to realize that's the top dog. The leader of the dog carcasses is lying on his knees there. He fucks the guy jerking back behind. Try not to startle the dog. Finished. It seems to have seen. Dog. He raised his head and threw a half-prayerful look at his feet. I can see the dog right now. This is the first time you've ever met him, so there's a bit of panic. The dog is really big. That's 4 times the size of the village dogs. Body hair fringed out like hedgehog spines. It's a purplish black and smelly. They both looked at each other breathlessly. The dog had no intention of attacking. He stuck out his tongue and licked the wound in his back. And then I put my head down and moaned. The moment of loss passed, he noticed. He saw a deep cut on his back. Because the black fur that colors blood is hard to detect, so pay close attention. You just saw a piece of hair. So the dog didn't mean it. The closed-eyed guy is still staring at his mouth and whispering, "Look out, this top dog is injured." She still shivered and twisted her mouth and said, "It's a dead dog, man. Tell the village to kill it." He shook his head at the dog and muttered, "Natural law, natural law, natural law. Flowers sometimes bloom at the end of the sky and the earth have fertility." Even though it's an animal, it's still greedy for life and afraid of death. Even though Sao was forced to this road, they have the courage to do these things. Let's save it, Grandma. Granny Babes knows her husband's humanity. When you hear that, it's straight. Save it. It's a flesh-eating thing. He fucks Mandarin in a long breath. He was good at the torch and came up to the hole and muttered, "You're hurt so bad. Do you want to live? That's what you asked." Don't he wait for the dog to understand? That's strange. The head dog picked up his head and leaned. Its tail wagged furiously, like a vow. He screwed up for a few seconds and put the plug down, slowly hand-rubbing the dog's head. The leader's dog whined. Let him touch his head and touch his ears. At this point, mister, I noticed the big dog shaking 7 eyes for help on the two. Sometimes the dog would howl and piss iron. He babes straight uttered, "She's pregnant. She's about to give birth." She is also a compassionate person. She's Buddhist and vegetarian. The chicken doesn't dare to kill. I saw the dog fall down the road. I was so scared, so I rode it up. That thought quickly disappeared. When you see the dog is weak. Now I hear my husband's voice. It seems to be pregnant. The terror in her heart flew away. Brunette Cassava's sleeve cred hands up. The dog's body now. Close your eyes. Look closely and see enough. The dog's stomach has very strong movements. Every time the belly goes up, is the lead dog howling again, showing intense pain. Then the sway is relentless. This big belly is about to give birth to him. You want a husband and wife. Listen to that bitch. The dog blinked and lay down again. He's a kind man who loves animals. He rubbed the dog's head and said, "Too big to give birth." She took him to the kitchen to see. "It's going to rain. You can't get it here." She agreed and said, "Honey, you lift up. Let us take you to the kitchen." The dog knows what it means, so try to get people to coordinate. Its parents are as big as a calf. I'm almost exhausted. Meet old people and weak people. You can't pull it out of the hole anyway. So the dog is getting weaker and weaker. Hurry up, Granny. Into the house. Bring 2 ropes, hammock with threading bars. Leaving it here is a crime. Granny lesbians rush inside to get what husband asks for, so a scaffold has been put together. 2 grandparents try to rhyme the dog on the handle. People pulling, people pushing. It took me a while to get the dog into the kitchen. While Grandma Wannabe cooks hot water, he hurriedly laid out the straw. The dog leader's whole body exhausted. Observe every action of the 2. The groans are gone. When you're done, the 2 of you put the dog in the straw. Blood from the dog's back pulled into a long streak, crimson at Cavity Drive. The dog seemed to understand, so he just dropped his head. For a long time, the throat gave out a snarling sound. He stroked the dog and sighed. This dog is pregnant. He was killed, so the power is no more. Puppies that stay a long time in the womb can suffocate. If it is not intervened, a stillbirth causes infection in dogs. It killed both the mother and the puppy. Where did you say get me the knife? Brunette babes hustle 6 in blocker 8. He hurried into the hands of the knife. Small but sharp black lamination. Hurry! Granny lesbians pour warm hot water out and wet the towel on his side after several concussion. He babes holding fast knife hand shaved around and wiped the poor dog's genitals clean. A little bit of water slowly in. The first dog immediately breathed. Then very quickly the anus and genitals expand. I can only see the dog using force. My stomach cramps and howls in pain. It's kind of like the dog in the membrane coming out. Not a towel, Grandma. Brunette Mandarin gives towel to husband. He put the towel in his hand. Take the fetus and pull it out. The trick at the same time as the leader's dog. Very quickly pulled the puppy. This puppy is so fat. He was born as big as a calf. Granny babes nervously waiting more. The dog's stomach is clamped. It seems to have produced only 1. The puppy was born. That's when the mother dog gasped. Wet eyes looked Grandma feet, and died fresh at the spot. Tired Granny sitting on the ground, sweating out to clothes. Outside the heavy rain was pouring down on the diaper. There's a strong fishy smell in the kitchen. Met the rain that didn't fade and covered. After a while regained strength. Horny Granny remembers a new concern. She turned around and told her husband. The mother's dog's body. I did it unskillfully. In this village, he says, let me die. He understands the meaning of his wife's words. I don't have to say there are dogs in this village. They are the enemy of God. It's the kind of devil who digs the grave. Your map didn't just save it. It's not acceptable to give birth. What about a long time ago? The president is dangerous to you. I don't know if this is a great opportunity for the first time. With a calculator like you, that's the possibility you're thinking about in your head. From the moment he decided to save the dog. Stand up in your hands and tell your wife. It's an animal. When I die, I try to save you. Species. This is more than a wolf in the wilderness. You can't leave it here. Take it to the river and let it go. The woman is now groping you. So what do we do now, man? Over and over again. He tables with wife. Take the dog's body out of the hole by the fence and bury it there. Granny babes also consistent views so follow. But as soon as you put the dog on the stretcher again, the two men saw the heavy body, now suddenly very light, just like a normal dog. The two men looked at each other and finished their fast love. Both teams took the dog out there for burial. Unfortunately, it's raining heavily tonight. It's not detected by AI. And soft mud that makes digging for burial. It happened very quickly. I don't know if your hands are full, or the fate of the dog is too great. So even if the mother dog dies soon after birth, that the puppy is healthy. There are two things that make the map feel strange. That was the night before. Buried the mother dog's body by the fence. Then the next morning something green sprouted up there. After only a month, the tree's sprouts grew as fast as it blew. He is as tall as his hips. By this time the couple had realized it was a tree. 3 more days passed. It's as tall as a pile of straw. It's as wide as Nia's beam raw part wooden handle. The tree's branches were strong and strong, burning raw plastic. The second thing is that puppies are picky eaters. Ever since I learned to eat like a dog. Usually voracious and eat very well. And your dog eats very little food. He noticed that whenever he ate fish, the dog dropped the rice. After taking pickled vegetables and salt, it eats well. The dog's appetite is as small as a cat's, and it grows as fast as a blow. They've been as big as dogs for 2 years. The mother-like dog is covered in a thick black coat, hands with bright eyes for feet. They're all hypothetical and they're very perceptive. Grandparents' toy's name for the dog is Collect. Every day he goes around the house, while lying on the couch listening to the poet. Follow her feet carrying water behind the pond. They'll never see you blinking out. Just like the dogs in the village. Every night Grandpa noticed that the dog has only one place to watch the house. It's at the bottom. It was a cold, rainy night and he called her into the house. But no matter how you collect it, you don't get in. That the rain beams, the dew beams. The dog is fine. No sickness or sickness at all. In this village, there was a theft. 3 months in a row. Almost everyone in the village, from rich riddles crumbling walls, to the same people nail the heirloom loincloth is a valuable thing. It was also stolen. But the family didn't lose anything. She believes that her husband is a good man. The thieves in your house might as well ignore them. The guy himself doesn't believe that. Because I get up to pee at night. He saw the shadows of people prowling at his house. Maybe they're more afraid of you than they are of you. And the more you do it, the more you show your appreciation for it. Take whatever is good and finish it. The loyal dog keeps that habit. It's sleeping under a puppet and eating only vegetables. After all, the guy table with his wife building a little bungalow bitch next to the tangled root. Until that day, he told me about going to the district to see the officer. This time he was invited to discuss the water treatment plan, because the rainy season is coming, especially when you are. The surrounding villages show signs of decay. If you don't try, it will break tomorrow. The old man is gone and the old woman is at home. Have children collect company day, wrap her feet. They also feel less empty. Until that day, she went out to cut vegetables. Before leaving, when I leave the house, I don't forget to feed you. Go and eat. I'll take care of you at home. Don't go anywhere. I'll cut a vegetable and I'll be back. Remember to watch the foxes at the back of the house. Told Grandma Tattoo Step. Shot a long time later. The collector is chewing rice. Then suddenly it stopped. The dog looked, stare out holding up the hair along the spine. The jaw is no longer moving. Almost immediately I picked up the body off the fence. Open up at full speed and run straight to the field. At the same time in the field, the woman, I'm standing in shit with the women in the village. It's scary, ladies. I was just cutting vegetables, and there was a big snake. He's got his head up and he's going to cut me open. I was too scared to swing the sickle. I'm sorry I had to cut a hole in the tail. Then it ran away. Then a woman in a dress came forward to see the snake's tail still wobbling, as big as the toes of a meat grater. She traced the swarms of vegetables that grew on the edge of the shore. Meat doesn't fire 3 cum shot when noticed. There's a cave in there. When I heard her scream, she and 2 others jumped in. There was a nest of 7 snakes in the cave. The women asked each other to use a sickle, because it's a venomous snake. The people who cut vegetables were killed, because this evil species must be eradicated as soon as possible. But at the same time, Granny startled when she heard the dog bark furiously. She turned around and realized it was a collector. Granny babes are amazed. Since childhood, I'll never get out of hand. Why did it run out here today? And then there's the barking that's so different from the usual. My wife ran to where I picked up my mouth, bite the bare of her dress, then jerk hard. That move made her lose momentum and fall back. Granny slouched up. When your clothes are covered in sand. I thought you were joking. She sent the dog back. His attitude is very clear. The dog kept biting the bear and pulling the owner back. The sign says you have to go home. 2 times so. Granny has to take a basket of vegetables home. Even then, she'd cut enough to cook pork bran. That day, my grandmother saw that I was collecting something very different. He's been clinging to you all day. Whatever you do, it's around your feet. Even when the lady goes to the toilet, the collector also scours around the latrine. Or when you take a shower, the collector also sits outside the door. It's like watching something. That is, until that night, when I finished eating. Close the door and lie down early. I will not sleep tonight. The barn near the puppetry that crawls out. And suddenly it's clinging to the veranda. The 2 legs behind it shrank. Keep an eye out for the gate as the world. She also clicked her tongue and twisted the oil lamp. In the sleeping room, for the first time, I was sleeping. Brunette babes startled when I heard the sound of the deer. The next time there was a howl. The roar is full of the weight of the gathering. The fences howl, the leaves roll up. Make Granny pale face. She curled up the bed and threw her terrified eyes back in the garden. The first night without a husband at home. The thieves came in here. Granny babe scared to shit out her pants forever. A long time after the house was quiet. She just beat up the oil lamp. Chubby understick body room. Moan men went to the back of the house. Under the dim moon she's 7 when she realized the land behind the window has been plowed. It's like there's a struggle there. The long grass around it fell with a stain of blood. On that land, I picked it up and put it in my mouth. A large snake was bitten on the head. The snake with the missing tail. That's the snake. I missed it when I went to get vegetables this afternoon. Granny babe straight rated to finish to make sure. She hit the snake with a stick and saw it didn't move the door. When you're sure it's dead, Granny gets down on her knees and shakes her. The mouth is still full of the snake. Belly breathing rosy. You understand the love. That the snake tonight is about revenge. She didn't open the window tonight. And luckily the collector was there in time. If not, well, Granny dare not think more. She hurried to get up, while throwing the snake out in the garden. That night she sat in the light all night, without daring to sleep again. After that time, my parents showed more love for me. He even told his wife. Did her grandmother see it? If you didn't save the dog that day, now my husband and I have too. She nodded. In fact, this one of my grandmother's lives was picked up by me. Another month has passed. The time is now about the 10th. Lunar month 11. According to annual practice, the art grandparents have a big party today. It was opened by his students to the city to thank you for your year of study. Among them, there are 3 jobs. The great officials of the village means the appearance and wrong. They also have to go back. The whole group is like the headmaster. They are called Ding or the priests. They all have to be there for safety. He knew he had to turn back that day, even though he hated magic in his heart. Remember the speech and the epidemic raging, while the boss is messing around. How much land money? He opened the warehouse, cooking porridge to save people. At first the villagers came to his house to exchange rice trash. Today the guy, if you give it for free, the villagers will take it. It was his business that was lost. He said he'd earned a windfall. That's why he avoided holding grudges against him. Since then, he thinks he's in the way to ruin my business. That's why you don't dare come out in public. Because your students are so many. In this village, there are 10 people. If there is no big thing to wish you, probably for more money. He didn't come either. In the morning, the soldiers killed chickens and laid out a tray for a party. He even invited the whole village to have fun. Try to show up to 20 trays across the village. From the morning, the collector is still lying at the root of the puppet. Stare at each group of people coming to the house. Then I saw the shadow of the old man and the 2 men. The ceremony is over. Suddenly waiting for evidence. He got up and tore the rope and jumped up. Outside the room, foam in the dog's mouth, noise raw. 2 white pointed teeth, close to the long stick tongue. My throat picked up chew on each guy, with sharp nails scraping down the brick temple. The headmaster stepped back and shouted, "Rano, get rid of this animal for me. If your mother misses your servant's time, he will let you die." Blow. A hoodlum came with a stick and drove away the collector. When you're done, pick up your spleen to the left. Take the momentum and fly through the gang. The ceremony has arrived. The 2 front legs of the collector. Let the hoodlum fall in the back. Germ ceremony with betel nut. A pig hand and buck compressed gold net. Fall to the ground. He avoided seeing the dog so badly that he turned his face back. I picked up the island in front of him. The summer is like an enemy. In the tray, I saw you collect suddenly bad evidence. The guy rushed out. I saw him with the garden dog. The old man hurriedly yelled at me to pick it up and clasped his hands. "You're the one playing. He invited you into the house." He avoided wiping away the sweat that was pouring out of the sun. Hastily clasped hands said flattering, "Hi, my teacher. Congratulations to you. This village has a lot of tricks like you. Please forgive the dog." So it's all poured out. You are in a hurry to die. You don't have to go to the house to celebrate like that. Now there is no level A. It's just me with the student access. Please come in. He kept away from the dog to avoid the dog. It takes 10 steps, bending his back and bending his knees. Then suddenly he was picked up by me. Let him fall down and roll around. Accidentally made the wood look safe sitting there. It also fell to the ground. The little red-faced judge stood up and pointed his face and shouted, "Father, no one dares to break my master's plate. You can't drag his neck out for a fight of the unspeakable." He avoided seeing that, afraid of losing the scorpion's honey. It's like a dress. 2 soldiers broke his armpits. Calculate pull-out fight for a battle. Then the fools stopped or waited. Today is the day we gather at your house. Take back that order. After all, this is the chief of this village. My house does that. What face will he have to say to others? Stop listening to people. The judge saw that his teacher's words made sense, so he relented the old man's face and said, "Fortunately, you're a virtuous teacher who doesn't even go away. You can't throw it out." The old man was dragged away. The soldier took a shot in the ass. Make him roll his neck down. In the laughter of the villagers, he hated the tunnel and went home. From the time he assumed full authority, he had never suffered such great humiliation. For the first time, they laughed straight at him. He then asked if he could even look at him. Avoid more hate. He came to his house burning with anger. I have 3 in my hand. He was rolling in his head, Tinzano bruised. Until the tree breaks. Tinzano's head spilled blood before he stopped. He sat down and swelled down. Like malaria, people. Reminds me of my husband screaming out of his wife's room with the lotus. My husband is a little red. Right hand led the lotus out and then came back to tea. Oh, that's not my teacher going to the old man's house for food. Is to avoid tipping cup of tea straight. Slamming his hand against the porcelain cup break. The tunnel tells the story of her love. My wife heard the story. Same face with husband. She said, their fairy mother. Both the owner and his dog are trying to harm this house. In this way, soon the reputation of our house is inferior. I can ride your head. The old man gritted his teeth, and Ken turned his jaw. Why is that you? The wife said, Chen, that's what I mean. I have to do this. It's falling down and falling apart. Is that thing in the house? I have to leave it tonight. When the boss left, it was easy for me to act. The old man near the group turned his eyes outside and yelled out, Don't come up here, I said. Listen to the owner's voice. The boy rushed up from behind the house. It's been 9 years since the old man's death, the faithful and trusted servant. Because he is a man of strength, master the traditional martial arts, he can become Ra, assigned to clean up the bloody deeds of the owner, as well as directly killing someone. Dare to stand in the way of your master. Let us call this cat. How long did you follow him? 8 minus 50 months. How well have you treated you before? That's what makes the cat. I can barely guess the love. It's close to the owner's ear. Let's go back to the old rules. The old man laughed madly. He shrugged his wife inside. A moment later from the room, it's a light yellow wooden box. He took the wooden box and opened it. Inside the box fits in 2 layers of fabric. It's all a small pot. He avoided remembering about a year ago. As he lay in the sun under the bamboo drum, outside the yard, I saw a doctor who was very proud of his Vietnamese. The drugs came by to play. He came in because he knew he was the richest man in the village. He invited the doctor to dinner and walk around the house because the master of this ship is talented. Consider geographic feng shui. When he broke up, he avoided buying some medicine to repay the favor. And of course there's an energy booster and vials of poison. Specialty. This poison the master said was esoteric. He's trained by his family with 5 types of poison. Just drop a drop into a giant pot of water. All the water turned into poison. To drink in 1 sip is to die. The train master is gone. He remembered his opponent in the next village. That's Nam. The old man and the old man fought 3 bird fields. So far it hasn't fallen 5. Ready for dynamic testing. The old man sneaked into the house at night. Just drop 1 drop in the water. See if that's what the ship's master said. And the god of poison is colorless and odorless. He took the life of his grandfather. Uncle died. My whole body was covered in blood from 7. Right after drinking the tea, it's half lit. He avoided it in his joy. He put the jars carefully in the wooden box, and then wrap it around 2 layers of fabric. Use only when absolutely necessary. After listening to his master and giving him the vial of poison, liar, I'm going to kill you tonight. He avoided being careful. I told you to throw the whole bottle into the rainwater of his house. Make sure that night was the owner's order. The boy jumped into the back fence. By fast body, he quickly approached to the rainwater of his grandparents' house. Granny and Granny are currently sleeping in the upper house. I don't know about love. It was only picked up by the sound of the wooden lid being opened. He immediately raised his head to listen. The wise dog rushed to the back of the house. At the same time, the bottle of poison was poured into the water. So the crook I gathered to the end. He's a martial artist, so avoid it. It flies through the fence and disappears into the night. The collector rushed to the back, staring out the back. A few seconds later, he returned to the water. For a few seconds I picked up 6. Follow the path of the cat that escaped earlier. Drifting by the hole also slips quickly into the dark. Follow the smell of the boy left on the lid loo. The wise man came to the right house. The old man had a very bad dog to guard the house. This dog is a bulldog. He eats well and loves to dance. He's almost the leader of the village dogs. Every time the old man visited the field, whenever I see the shadow of my ass, the dogs are afraid of losing their secrets. Some are still lying on their tails. The tiger in its stomach moaned. If you have children, you will run into the bamboo dust to avoid the face. If he is afraid to see you right away. The old dog has the same status. He paid $3 to buy it back. And I really believe I need to take care of the house. But tonight when I saw you picking up the cow, follow the dog. The gate's ass is still thin. To scold, let me pick up the puncture straight in. To breathe hard, the gate's ass did not dare. And when the collector turns his eyes, his dog dodged the tail and went straight to the haystack. Just go and shit. Inside the house, the old man asked why. Did you do what I told you? I do as you say. I saw his house sleeping. Why don't you let me in? 2 is amputation. Poison Kai let it lose its job. You're stupid. This village, they all know I hate that old cunt. I snuck in and cut my head off. How the water village it, no doubt. What comes next is this guy's meeting. It's a lot. All back to high. I saw them die like that. That it digs to the roots and peels into the grave. It bothers me. And again, his dog, he's very in the middle of the night. It stops working. I've heard of the scrawny son of a bitch. He reminded me just a little while ago, and he gave it to me. Fortunately, I'm a martial artist or... He avoided throwing him a penny in a face. Take your mouth, baby. The year of the open forest is dead. If you come to find me, let me go. You must have snuck out again at night. You are the one he mentioned here. It's not a person. It's a 3-body cat. And wife is precious. This cat weighs almost 5 pounds. It's fat. Normally, you just eat and lie down for the owner to touch. He loves that cat so much. He loves it like an egg. Normally, the slaves in the house only have rice with potatoes. Every time you cross the road, add dried fish and a plate of salty tomatoes. And yet the cat is 3 bowls of fish meat. You can't eat all the food. The old man considered that cat more precious than the slaves. The man in the house called him for an hour. You take care of the ball like a living person. The cat is lying like that. He closed the door to find his precious cat. At the same time, the burglar at the window chased him away. It goes straight to the pile, where his dog's ass is shaking. I only saw 2 of them snarling back and forth for a few seconds. Then the moan man came to the back of the house. Soon came back to prostrate for legs. And cat house 3 may have been bitten to death. I picked up my head. Open your mouth and grab the cat and go straight to the camera. Back home the old way. The cat is always in the rain. I walked up the channel like nothing ever happened. The next morning, get up early and make tea for your husband. She saw a lid of water lying there, and she picked it up. Just looked inside Lou. Nurse fire 3 cum shots. When I saw the body of the big cat lying dead there, the scribe spilled all the water in Lou. Without her, it saved her family from danger. The next morning I didn't hear a cry. He avoided the doubt of going to the playhouse. He was afraid of the dog, so he called in at the gate. The guy is reading a book. When you hear the call, go away. So he's got a pink face and a fast gait. There's no sign of poisoning. The old man soon put ink in the dress. Say a few words about the situation. Please excuse me because the house is making wine. When he got home, the seller made a face. Called the boy up for questioning. The boy swore to die. It poured all the poison into Lou. He avoided selling doubt. The pain in my heart just goes up. He turned to the boy and said, I looked around and saw that guy. He said he was going to the county. The table next to 2. It takes half a day to get up there quickly. Then when he gets back, it'll be around midnight. The suspicious cat said, surely that poor man is back. He must be back. Tomorrow my house will have a funeral. I asked him to come and he thought, This old bastard is so honest that if he comes back, we have to go through the trail behind the mountain. I just dressed there and cut to death, and that's it. They cut him to death and threw his body over the cliff. I knew the boy had eyes. The two of us talked for a long time, then leave the AI to work. That morning he wore socks. Inter-district according to the appointment with the official. This time I picked up no attachment. When you leave the house, I can't see the shadow of the dog. The man now tells his wife, "Today I went up to meet the authorities. Maybe I'll be back tonight. Tomorrow there will be a funeral at his house. She stays at home, locks the door. I'll call her when I get home." He fell out, and she also did some errands. Because she was so busy working, she forgot that I had collected and left. As for your part, you can accept it. A clown or two people behind him. It was dark that day. He hurried back to the village, to the trail behind the mountain. Time has passed near the third. He was shocked, pleading with the torch and, "Step faster. This trail is quite difficult. On one side is a gentle slope. On one side is the deep. Plus, there's evil around here. If not for the promise of a funeral, your house avoided, you also stay in the district." Hurried to the village. Suddenly out of the bush, there are two black shadows. Those two are wearing tight-fitting clothes. Only two pairs of eyes behind him. He thought he was meeting the bad guy. "Speak up in a hurry. Ladies and gentlemen," the words are not finished. The harp in the hand of one who swung down. Instinctively raise your hand up. And at the same time a shadow came, plus a heavy voice. That black shadow jumps to help him. A cruel guillotine. He realized straight away that it was his own collector. The horse slashed straight down his back. Make fresh blood shoot out all over your face. He babes collect up full of pain. I still need that black neck when I'm done. And then clenched his sharp teeth and tore a piece of meat apart. The veil revealed. He fucks you. Realize that it's your old man's slave Jong. The bastard howled in horror while he was still panicking. Suddenly, he heard a very sweet thump. Slowly bend down. He saw the sharp knife that had been stapled into his abdomen. The pain moves to the brain. The hen scratched the face of the Kier accidentally. Make the veil fall down. That's the old friend. Is the main understanding? Smiling. He picked up the knife and tried to remember. "I am the queen. Here's your fairy mother. I've been waiting for you all day. You like to break me. Now I let you die. I'll kill you. I'll kill your wife. You must pay for standing in my way. Die, you idiot." The knife pulled out, the guy fell out the back. Fresh blood leaking out drenched the light brown blouse. Your two eyes are gaping and yawning. Hands up in front of me, exhausted. On the ground I picked up, he lay flat on his body, scars and a pool of blood. So they both died. There must be something wrong with the body here. He avoided dragging the bodies down the cliff one by one. I threw out all the clothes. Hurried back to the village. She pierced the distance from here down to a very deep abyss, but the collector does not die. But you slashed the boy's body right into the danger. So the dog is very difficult to move. It uses its hind legs to push the ground hard. Move to the body. He licked his tongue on the owner's face. So you have a spark. The dog gathered all its strength and stood up. He stared at his master and walked away. Aim at a nearby plume of smoke. One is a family of hunters who live close by in the valley. Near the bottom. Two father and son of the hunter. I'm grilling a deer right now. Talk about the big dog. When we arrived at our house, we both had fever. The man rushed out to check. I saw the dog hurt like a knife. The son turned to the father. They both carried me into the house. Suddenly the dog came up, bit the bear in the boy's pants, jerking. Go to the door, and the father says, maybe he wants his father to go. Take the bow and bow, follow the father. So the bead goes first. Two father and son hunters follow. Both found the body of the first boy. I checked and found dead. So rush to the second body. Alive, father. This old man is alive. Hurry and take the old man home. When you see your master, Don't let the hunter carry you back. Chun's eyes cracked a loud voice. Turn your head in the direction of the old village. I saw a puddle of clay in the forest. The dog rushed down and rolled down there. The mud clinging to the hair, the blood stopped leaking. The cry of pain is gone. Instead, there's a crazy growling sound. There was a funeral in the old man's house that morning. Of the old woman born after causing the death of your brother. The old man looked as if, I'm trying to make sure that later when that AI finds the body, there's no doubt about it. There was a lot of noise that day. There were more than 30. He opened the door and invited the entire village to eat, in part because it increases the prestige of the owner, partly because of the smell of being a good person. The more people who know you, the better. Be at home today as possible. You avoid the sign. There is an old father who this year has entered the 70-year-old high form. A father or son avoids evil 10, evil 10. 10, your father must also be 8 minus 9. During his time in office, his father raped the good people, riding the neck of the famous book in the area. Because of age, weakness. So today he's resting in the backyard. Assigned to try, table and welcome guests for his son. That is, the queen. On the vast brick field, the ceremony was very special. There was a lotus in the back for a long time, to serve the chief. The crowd is also noisy. Say laugh. That's when you pick up your whole body full of mine mud. Hold. Reminds me to collect. Your boss is guarding the gate. Hurry up and go out. It's lying on the ground, its tail clinging to its stomach. Who trembled and broke, face down as if waiting for orders. I picked up my head. I saw 2 dogs growling back and forth. The ass is gone. It seems there was between them. It's a secret conversation. Ass gate ahead, guide. I picked up my heels. 2 dogs round out the back. I just saw the buttocks slam their jaws against the back wall. Then take a step back. The collector comes forward to scour. Very quickly bend myself through the hole below. The fence in the back. Come to visit your father. The door leads into the middle. The garden is closing. The beaver scoured his ears and listened to his ears. Let the lotus carry the copper pot up to the house. The worm slid its way in. The dog's lip, when he saw the bead, he ran away for his body. With him a few hours. And then you're hurrying into the garden. The collector suddenly rushed out the main door. Backstage before, I saw the old man lying on his stomach, a piece of sugar in her throat. He looked out and saw his father's son. That means you're only 10 that year. Sitting around playing with clay, I gather calmness into conviction. Faster than cutting the body up, give his father a good beating. I can't see the old man's life. And then the teeth are stuck in the face. Will be a wrinkled skin that makes blood. Fresh shootout blankets. He fell to the ground. Cry out with great pain. He's screaming for help. I picked it up and went out into the yard. The only son of the Holy Spirit. Go to see if you are made. It was immediately picked up by me for a roof. Near the seed. It makes me lose my head. Follow the old way lightning fast. I picked it up and came back in the dog's way. It's easy to get under the counter. It's hard to get out. More about seeing the truss hearing labor come too fast. I picked up the power. My eyes were blurry. How to do it as fast as these guys. A blow compresses down its body, the old one escapes. I picked up the shit. It turns its back on fighting back. It's done with its head out. I picked it up and fell to the ground. Chen's brain and his blood became a pool. 7 bars shout from the backstage, horrifying the house above. The party is in full swing, in the sun like fire. People rushed back to the back room. Everyone was horrified to see the tragedy. The old man's father is rolling around in the house. Half of the face is removed. The red meat is still visible. The only son is screaming at his man. Fresh blood. The fire chief shouted out the emergency bandage. And then frantically took his father and son to his mausoleum. The dog's body is lying there. The old man laughed because he realized it was a collector. His dog babes. It's this brute. He avoided stealing the first stick I picked up. Until the flesh and blood of the slime. He threw the stick to see her. He refused to die and ordered the women to take his body. Take the dog to throw. On the part of Grandma, I haven't understood why since last night. Her liver was as hot as a fire. She looked in. I can sit at the table and drink water. My husband seems tired and he always goes away. Forever until you hear the sound of people running towards the house. The old men watched the commotion. I woke up in a hurry. I picked it up last night and didn't come back. And every day it wrapped her up and she didn't leave. My husband said he would be back last night. But now the silkworm fish. Granny Babe, still hair flipping off hold, trying to find a husband, just came out on the porch. She was startled by the strange sight. The sandalwood at the fence by the gate yesterday was still green, canopy them out the fence. But after just one night, the leaves of the tree were gone, back to the thin branches, dry as if cut through roots. Granny lesbians rushed to touch the tree trunk. I think it's really dead. Died like a long time ago. Where there's a strong wind coming back to make the scene flutter. Brunette babes arouse a bad hunch. Visit all the students in the village. I didn't see anyone see his shadow. The situation is dangerous. She was born with more than 10 children. We pulled each other up to the station to find him. My son told me he came home last night. All the water, all the footprints, but now the boy has not returned to the village. It is very difficult to get up to the district. Tigers and bandits are many. Afraid of something bad happening to you. More than 20 soldiers in the army. The same 10 grapes born and personally go out looking for someone. A crowd turned towards the north. Aim at the river to find a group and scour the forest. At all costs to find out his 3 breath. The living must see the dead, must see the body, while the bureaucrats are scouring every corner, ask each person. The old man's family had a major incident. That night, after arranging for your father to stay at the groom's house, he avoided the tunnel and returned home. The lone son lost his tickled walk, and so his house was destroyed. At an age beyond for weeks, the birth of a child to follow him. It's harder to get to heaven. The more he thought, the more he hated it. The ghost dog's attack is too cruel. He hated that he didn't chop it up. Let him pretend to be dead and get revenge. Back home, he finished with the cry of his wife. Make him feel bad. The senior put on his sandals and went to his aunt's house too. His second wife gave birth when he came home. He hadn't looked at anything for a long time. Tonight is a place for him to forget. He went to his house and told his wife to get him a drink. Borrowed wine to force myself to slumber. People used to say that killing people means paying for their lives. If you lack debt, you have to pay. Some people react to this disaster. Some give it back in the next life. Some people have to pay it back in a few years. It's true. There are records in history. But especially with the boss. Maybe it's coming right at him. In that night, after a series of acts of conscience, half a glass of wine makes him squint. He felt his whole body aching. Go into the room with your wife. The time now flows to the time of the 3rd watch. He lay down for a while and fell asleep. I just closed my eyes for a moment. The second wife is lying next to him with her eyes Suddenly closed. He woke up and asked, "Hey, why do you keep moaning like a milk-hungry puppy?" Master Lau is sleeping, stunned by his late wife. He opened his tired eyes. "Did you dream of sleeping?" "I'm sleeping, what?" "It's very late to sleep." Then he closed his eyes and went back to sleep. Just a few minutes of sound. It keeps coming out of the throat. Wife too startled, sitting up. She looked at her husband and continued to wake him up. He opened his eyes and was a little incredulous. "Is the moan that's mine?" But it's clear that too has heard. And he heard it himself in his dreams. The 3rd time he tried to close his eyes and try, "Is that sound mine?" A few minutes later, of course, the sound keeps coming out of my throat. At that moment in consciousness he knew, I'm constantly growing, but he can't control it. The sound just kept coming out. The Holy Spirit sat up, immediately shrunk into a corner, For the first time, he liked the hobby. Water makes the alcohol vapor rise to the top of the head. Fly clean through the hair. After a while, the spirit returned. The old men dared to lie down. Just like a few times before. This time the boss suddenly cursed. It's like someone is beating me. Pain. Be like that. After 10 breaths, his second wife called. He stood up and sat up. Fear comes out of the sweat. He can't control himself. Even the sound from his throat. And that easy act. He doesn't know. It can't be mastered. I thought it might be hard to sleep tonight. He avoided the lights outside and sit in the wind. That night she loved her husband sitting next to her. I don't know how he got through the night. He avoided taking a sip of his wife's freshly brewed hot tea in the throat. And he still finds his guts shivering cold. He was stunned and thought again. That's what makes him obsessed. Because hearing the sound feels so painful and miserable. The next day he avoided going home. Come to the dog's house. I don't know why today is like us. The dog saw his shadow barking constantly. I want to bite my teeth. Fortunately, there is a chain around his neck. Maybe he's not done with it either. He stepped aside to enter the house. When he sat down to warm his ass, he saw slaves of the Lang family to report that his father was seriously ill. He avoided the frantic rush. Just arrived. Then he avoided seeing his father crawling on the porch. Back foot. His father held up and scratched like an angry dog. The sound in my throat. It's like a dog's chin when it hits its head. I just saw my son. I don't understand why. The blood in his mouth flowed like a waterfall. He thundered every crowd. The Lang and the old men both spoke. The father's son just vomited blood. Vomiting so much that the throat swelled and the tongue felt nothing. The mouth can no longer be shut. His tongue stuck out. His headache was so bad that his eyes were bleeding. After a while I stopped fainting. He hurried into the house. He avoided being horrified by the sight. Hurry home to take care of me. Loss of half an hour. He woke up and asked for food. Heart. The old man frantically grinds out to cook porridge. After a while, the two wives brought Theo to the porridge cage. He gave me his own hand. When he reached for the third spoon, his father choked. Eyes upside down. Purple eyes, pale tears stringed human hard. A few minutes later he died in the hands of his son. It was even weirder when my father was born. Until the time to leave, it's always making strange sounds in your throat. These sounds are like moans of the faithful dog about to leave the earth. Even more bizarre, on his father's head came a very large lump. It looks like it's just been hit very hard. A hard object. His voice when he died, it's like the sound of a gathering. His father's funeral took place in the gladness of the villagers. Everyone in the belly is happy. His father's life came. How many lives his life has cost? Caused so much rain of blood and wind. This death is also the cause. He avoided the Tang Cho Cha organization on the one hand invite me to worship ants. He began to feel afraid. When he had not seen it, he roared at the event. I was in the coffin that night. He heard a roar coming from behind the house. The king was too quick to stand up. Clasp your hand. After a while the snarling was gone. The king went to the altar. Give the ancestors a week of incense. Pray for me to survive the accident. The red peas just pulled up. Struck. Inside, behind the vase, is the shadow of a very large squid. That dog is the top dog that eats carcasses every year. The old man fell on his back. The casket was tossed and tossed. His father's body was thrown out. Two eyes staring at him. He woke up and realized he was in his room. Maybe his wife put him in here. He sat up, his mind spinning like sick. Hear the commotion in the yard. The Mon men approached the window. Keep your eyes closed. I saw a group of soldiers breaking into my house. The judge shouted, "You can't catch that bad guy for me." He avoided the 7 economies and ran away late. The next morning dream. The village opened a public trial. At this point, he or she is not dead. 6 in the house. All the rice and grain and gold coins of the court. They're all in the old man's warehouse. To avoid being put to death, the property is confiscated. Part of the national treasure shell pulse. The land of the hijacked AI is returned. He was sent to this village to have a big meeting. Old man after waking up. The table tells all the details. The villagers feel for the dog means, so they built a temple at the base of the tree. And it's been strange since the temple was built. The tree is green again. Until the rainy night that day, the grandparents came home from a family meeting. When they arrived at the gate, they were startled to see a baby, wrapped in diapers by that AI, right at the gate of my house. Son of Grandma Babes takes from baby 2 wives. My husband did not give birth to more children. The couple was more than happy to catch the gold. Take the baby home to wash. Both of you realize there's a long scar on the back of the baby. They later lived to be 100 years old. 2 couples go away gently after a sleep. Your son was saved from the house. Fire incense for Master Boo. The temple is still on fire all year round. Incense smoke never goes out. Thank you to the audience for listening. Hello, goodbye to you and see you and your friends in the next stories.